día es 12 de octubre, son 516 años de resistencia, es un día en que las culturas occidentales quisieron apoderarse de nuestra riqueza cultural.
Aujourd'hui, c'est le 12 octobre, ça fait 516 ans que les cultures occidentales, les puissances occidentales ont tenté de prendre le pouvoir et de dominer nos cultures.
We are on October 12th. It's been 516 years since the colonial powers have attempted to colonize us.
Viva la resistencia indígena, viva las naciones de Abya Yala.
I'm going to speak in English in honor of our Mohawk friends here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. I just want to say that I speak with the firm conviction that a different world is possible, and it's one that you all make happen every time you speak your minds, so I encourage you to do so as often as you can, and I thank you for every time that you do. I'm going to talk to you a bit about Action Créative. It's an organization that began, well, a cultural organization that began around 10 years ago in Ecuador. And we began with creating workshops to empower the youth in the use of new technologies, new media, so that they can express their visions of the world and their realities. And now it's beginning to happen here in Montreal, in Quebec. And with the belief that real change will only come from the strengthening of our cultural identities. And we believe that this could only happen in alternative channels of communication where art and creativity will allow for real change to happen, a cultural revolution. At heart are the teachings of our ancestors, the First Nations of America, who gave us a special knowledge about the world and our place within it, teaching us values of solidarity, strength, community, and organizations that we can use to resist and to oppose all the lies that are being told by the commercial media. So I invite you all to engage in this creative revolution and to speak your minds and to make the world a better place, because we all can do it. So thank you.
In the education, it will be really important to teach children the truth that people were living here before the arrival of the Europeans. So we created a little dance to honor the First Nations people.
And I'm from Ganawage.
Je soy de Kanawake.
And we're really happy to be here tonight.
Estamos muy felices de estar aquí esta noche.
And we were very touched by the song and the dance by your people.
Estuvimos sumamente conmovidos por el baile y los cantos de su gente.
I cried because
Yo lloré porque
I felt your spirit in your dance.
yo sentí su espíritu en su baile.
For myself, I bring my daughter everywhere I go because our women are our leaders. You cannot protect creation or Mother Earth unless you respect the female. And we have to teach our children to bring this back. The female has to remember their responsibility, their job, to help the man remember that he is here to protect the female, to protect the world.
So we see that from the beginnings of time, that the creation story was told, that it was passed on from generation to generation, not just from the time when people developed the ability to speak. It was passed on before that. It was passed on in our DNA. And that is communicated to us since the beginning of time about the truth, the reality of creation. That true beings cannot be lied to be told that man was created first, that God created Adam, and then from Adam's rib created a woman, because maybe the man was lonely or whatever, or it seemed that the man was not complete. But that story tells you that it's like the woman is basically like an afterthought, that the man was what is the original plan. And that it was seen afterwards, well, a woman is needed, so they took it from Adam's rib to create the female entity. That is a very degrading way of thinking. It's a very degrading way of teaching our children, to teach them that on the subconscious level, that we are teaching our children that the original being is a male, and that the female was created basically as an afterthought. When the reality is that the female is the first entity in creation, and that the male was created from the female. That is the reality of creation. As was said, when that egg falls down the fallopian tube, takes root in the womb of our mother, and begins to grow, today modern science confirms that every one of us, me, every man, every guy that has ever lived, has started off as a woman, as a female. It's only like 1 or 2 weeks into the gestation process that then it's selected to be a male. But that male is taken out of the female entity. So the female entity is the first entity that had materialized, that manifested itself here in the physical world.
There's great crisis in this world because of capitalism and democracy, because our people, all the indigenous people, are not together. We have allowed this to take place. We cannot let our economies rule us. We have to take control of our economies. And if it can't be controlled, then it doesn't belong here. With the economy struggling, the outside economy, with the problem with the collapse of the economies, the governments squeeze the land from the native people. They will now look to the traditional lands for their mining and resources. So we have to be strong and we have to know our rights and our traditions. For Ganawage, Ganyage Haka people, Mohawk people, we have a constitution, our government that guarantees to protect the land from the people trying to rip it from us. I believe, yo creo, that today is a first step in bringing our peoples together for one purpose, to save creation. Now that you are aware, now that you are conscious of what's important, you can't sit down and not do anything anymore. You must support all traditional people because we are the only ones that still know about the land. I'd just like to thank everyone for being here and listening to my words and giving me a chance to speak as a woman to the people.